at the box, and it's like I'm really 4 shots away from having a really good game, a really good shooting game. So that's where
The drama surrounding the WNBA this season has unfolded like a cautionary tale in real time. A league that was supposed to be on the cusp of breakthrough, riding a wave of hype, new fans, and the star power of Caitlin Clark, has instead seen its momentum collapse in spectacular fashion. What was once billed as the year the WNBA would step into the mainstream has now become a brutal lesson in how fragile growth really is when it's built on shaky foundations. When Caitlin Clark went down with injury, many expected a dip in interest, but few could have predicted the free fall that followed. Television ratings didn't just decline, they plummeted more than 50%. Indiana Fever viewership, once the league's shining beacon, cratered by over 53%. Without Clark on the court, the WNBA was suddenly like Netflix without Wi-Fi, a product stripped of its lifeline. The playoffs, which were supposed to showcase the best of the league, became a ratings nightmare, sinking faster than a dying phone battery at 2 in the morning. And with each passing week, the narrative only grew darker. Fans were leaving, ticket sales evaporated, and the WNBA was scrambling to hold on to whatever credibility it had left. The league had long pinned its hopes on a season like this, a moment where everything aligned and the product finally broke through into the wider sports consciousness. Yet instead of a triumphant breakthrough, what unfolded was closer to slapstick disaster. Imagine setting the table for a grand feast only to trip and faceplant into the food before the guests arrive. That was the WNBA's season, a highly publicized build-up followed by one embarrassing pratfall after another. The deeper problem wasn't just that Clark got hurt. Injuries happen in sports. But the WNBA exposed itself by being so heavily dependent on one player to carry its relevance. Every broadcast, every marketing push, every storyline seemed tethered to her. And when defenders treated her like a crash test, dummy, battering her relentlessly while referees swallowed their whistles, the league's lack of player protection became painfully obvious.
Sly and witty, and always has something to say like less than a second after you say something, so.
Clark wasn't just injured, she was unprotected, and fans noticed. Without her, interest evaporated, and the supposed growth the commissioner bragged about turned out to be nothing more than a house of cards collapsing under pressure. Meanwhile, officiating became another circus act in an already disastrous season. Referees seemed less like professionals and more like part-time mall workers pulled in to fill a shift. One night, a shove was ignored. The next, a light sneeze resulted in an ejection. If consistency is the bedrock of credibility, then the WNBA's officiating was more like a magic 8-ball, spitting out random outcomes with no logic at all. Fans didn't know if they were watching basketball, roller derby, or WWE SummerSlam. Every game was a gamble, not in terms of who would win, but in whether the referees would even remember the rules. The injuries piled up too. Clark wasn't the only star forced out. Sophie Cunningham went down. Angel Reese, one of the league's most recognizable names, walked away mid-season, leaving fans stunned. In most professional leagues, a player quitting halfway through the year would spark outrage. In the WNBA, it felt less like a betrayal and more like a statement about the chaos within. Why keep playing when the product feels broken? When officiating is a joke, and when leadership seems more concerned with saving face than protecting players? That leadership, embodied in Commissioner Kathy Engelbert, has drawn relentless criticism. Publicly, she continues to smile, insisting the league is growing, as if reciting a mantra will make it true. But fans aren't buying it. They see the empty seats, the half-empty arenas where the loudest sounds are popcorn vendors sighing into the void. They see the viewership numbers collapse, the ticket sales nosedive, and the memes flooding social media mocking the WNBA's marketing spin. Each time the league posts about an exciting night of WNBA action, the replies fill with tumbleweed gifs and sarcastic questions about whether those exciting games are happening in some alternate dimension. The wasted opportunity stings most. Clark brought millions of eyes to the league. For the first time in decades, casual fans were tuning in. Highlights made SportsCenter. ESPN gave the WNBA top billing. Social media buzzed with debates about her performances. But once she was sidelined, the league failed to hold that attention. Instead of building a foundation to keep new fans engaged, the WNBA revealed its over-reliance on a single star, and the moment slipped through its fingers like sand.
Being a really good teammate, being there for my teammates, being a voice for them, because that's what I am when I'm.
And then came the All-Star ratings, down a staggering 40% from the year prior. It was undeniable. Without Clark, the WNBA couldn't sustain its surge. The league's supposed growth was little more than a sugar rush, a temporary spike that collapsed the moment its star was unavailable. Ticket prices fell over 50%. Television audiences tuned out, and what should have been a defining year instead became a case study in self-destruction. Fans aren't blind. They see the pattern: stars getting injured, referees ruining games, leadership failing to adapt. And while diehard supporters continue to show up, they're left feeling like loyal partners in a toxic relationship, committed but constantly let down. Every broken promise chips away at their faith. Every PR statement from the league feels more like denial than progress. And every injury to a marquee player sends the league deeper into crisis. This season was supposed to prove the WNBA could hang with the big leagues. Instead, it has proved the opposite. That without fundamental changes, without leadership willing to prioritize player safety and professional officiating, the league risks collapsing under its own weight. Growth is possible, but not when stars are treated as disposable. Not when marketing is built around one player. Not when fans are charged premium prices for a product that feels second-rate. If the WNBA collapses, it won't be because fans didn't care. It won't be because women's sports can't succeed. It will be because leadership failed its players, failed its fans, and failed to build something sustainable. The league is dangling from a cliff, insisting it's climbing higher, while the ground crumbles beneath its feet. This was the year the WNBA had a chance to change everything. Instead, it became the year it showed exactly why fans are abandoning it in record numbers. Until player safety is real, until officiating is professional, and until leadership takes accountability, fans will continue to walk away. And no amount of spin, no matter how polished, will convince them otherwise. The WNBA had the moment, and it lost it. So now the question falls to you. Do you think the WNBA can recover from this disastrous season? Was the hype around Caitlin Clark proof the league can thrive, or has her injury exposed flaws too deep to fix? And most importantly, do you believe fans will ever come back in the same numbers again? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more deep dives into the biggest stories shaping sports today.